How's it going, guys? AnxiousCynic back again with something a little bit different. So I don't know how many of you know this, but it's actually been just over 4 years since I uploaded the very first video on this channel. That means the channel in itself is about 4 years old. It's a little toddler running around and chewing on its fingers and things like that. And I'm really happy with some of the progress we've made and what I've done and how I've grown as a content creator and commentary provider. There's dust blowing around in my face. It's been an interesting journey so far, and we look forward to how it goes from here or something. So I asked you guys about a week or so ago about if you had any questions that you wanted me to answer for the channel. I thought it'd be kind of cool for a little anniversary video to do a Q&A, and you guys responded beautifully. I got way more questions than I expected, especially way more interesting questions that I thought would be cool to answer than I expected. Before we get into that though, I wanted to go ahead and clarify. You may have noticed a couple of like short absences from me, like one thing with the compilation kind of lapsing for a week and things like that. Well, I had to do things. I had to go out of town and whatnot. If you saw my post on the Facebook/Twitter, then you would know what was up with that. So if you guys ever want to kind of keep up with what's going on, if I happen to disappear from YouTube for a little bit or something like that, then look at the Facebook page or my Twitter to maybe get possible updates that I can do, you know, mobilely. So there's just that little note. So I apologize for that absence, and I'm kind of behind. Fortunately, I recorded a lot of stuff. I was ahead of schedule, basically, and that saved me from missing too much uploading while I was indisposed, or some kind of word like that you would use. Anyway, let's get on to the questions. Alright, so I actually saved the names of most of the people who asked these questions, but certain questions got asked multiple times by different people, and due to everything that was going on, I couldn't keep up with everything and have it as organized as I wanted to. I'm gonna try to read off the names that I have. If you asked this question and your name's not included, I apologize. I wanted to have it all in there, but things happened, you know, like I couldn't do anything about it. So just assume, just pretend that you're included if you're somehow left out. And I'm gonna try to read the names with the questions, and some of them I consolidated. It's a thing. Let's move on. Alright, so first question. Headset Animations asks, what was your first animation system, or was Animator your first? My first animation system, which is kind of a fancy way of just saying like animating program or something, software, was Blender. I tried to learn that years ago, and I had a lot of trouble with it. Lesson learned, children. Keep your goals low. One of the problems I've always had, maybe I'll do a video on this at some point, but one of the problems I've always had is I had too ambitious of a goal when I was trying to learn the basics of something, and it totally demotivates you when you're learning something and you cannot make something very basic, and in your head you're wanting to make something very awesome. So yeah, keep that in mind. But Blender was the first thing, and I tried to learn it probably 2 or 3 times since my teens, and I always gave up on it because I could never realize that awesome vision that I had in my head. And eventually I found out about Animator, and it went from there. So Sneaky Ultra Gamer, Kawaii Kid, and Boss Cow YouTube, or YT, where did you get your YouTube name is basically what they want to know. And it is because I have an anxiety issue. I tend to have social anxiety or something where I get nervous in certain situations and have anxieties, and it's a big part of my life, unfortunately. And I tend to be a bit skeptical and cynical and whatnot, so I would describe myself as an anxious cynic. And that is how I got the name. Mr. Fuzzy asked, how did you become so good at making animations? Well, basically what I did is I went and got a bunch of donuts, and I sacrificed them onto the altar of the animation Cthulhu, and yeah, granted me all of my great skills. In actuality, I just practice. I wouldn't consider myself anywhere near the best, so like don't take this as me assuming, oh, I'm really good or anything. But if you want to know like how I got to where I am, wherever that is, it's just a lot of practice. I started Animator, and as a lot of you are, I was kind of daunted by it. You know, you would think starting with Blender would make Animator look a lot simpler, which it is, but it was still pretty daunting. So basically what I did is when I started with Animator, I tried to make an animation, and it didn't work out. If you want to see what I first tried to do, go to my animations playlist, and you'll see the chicken coo, however you want to say it, little 30-second clip there, and I was like, oh, this will be fun. I had this grand idea of what I wanted to do. Realized I wasn't equipped to tackle it, so I made that little piece and I gave up on it, and I didn't touch Animator for a long time until I started to decide, like, I was like, oh, I can make cool thumbnails with this, and I started making thumbnails, and through making my thumbnails with Animator, I learned how to use the program well enough to start graduating into making simple animations, and then I've tried to progress and get better with each one from there. Crow Cookie asked, did you originally want to record Minecraft gameplay instead of making animations? That's kind of a tricky question because, like I said, years ago I wanted to make animations. I've always been interested in filmmaking, and I did machinima, I tried to do live action. I wanted to do animation, but Blender was, above my head and beyond my goals, and I kept being demotivated. So initially, I would say animations, but when it came to starting this channel, I wanted to just do like Minecraft gameplays or Let's Plays in general and stuff like that. If you go back way on the, the early videos, the really horrible early videos on this channel, they actually didn't start out being Minecraft a whole lot. It was Minecraft that I used Minecraft to get me into commentary and to do daily videos to help me get more comfortable with commentary, and it went from there. South Park Boy 13 and Viper Studios asked, why did you start making animations in the first place? Well, it's kind of like what I said in the previous answer, is I've always been interested in filmmaking. I've always been interested in animation, like growing up watching the Pixar films like A Bug's Life and other ones for some reason that aren't coming to me, Toy Story, things like that. Animation always was fascinating to me, and I always wanted to do it and stuff. So I just, it's always just been kind of a passion that I've had to do filmmaking or making movies, telling stories or whatever. And animation seemed to be one of the awesomest ways to do that. Viper Studios asked, what's your favorite food and what inspired you to start YouTube? So I said for food, it would have to be pizza. I don't know why I said, but anyway, for food, it would have to be pizza. My favorite food ever is pizza. I hardly ever get tired of pizza. What inspired you to start YouTube? Basically, I watched other people doing YouTube, and I thought it would be kind of interesting. I used to be completely against Let's Plays and stuff. I was like, why would other people want to watch someone play a game and talk over it? But then I started getting into it, and I'm like, I still don't understand why it's so interesting or entertaining to watch other people do it. But it is, and it's fun to do it yourself, so I decided to try that, and I wanted to use it as a way to help me get out of some of my anxiety and to push myself beyond my limits. And it's been a slow process, but I have made some progress in some regards. I used to not be able to even hear my own voice. If I recorded a video, I can barely stand to see myself, but especially hear myself talking. I was just like, ugh, it would make me want to go crawl under a rock. So I really wanted to overcome that, and I forced myself to do daily videos with the YouTube channel and to talk and to just make myself do it regardless of how I felt. And yeah, that's why I started it. All right, I'm going to try to pronounce this Razi Amari. Hopefully I didn't get that wrong. If I did, anyway, he says, how do you Animator? And basically you would just Animator. Dragon Lord asked, do you think Animator will update to 1.11 soon? I don't know if Animator is going to update to anything anytime soon or ever, because as far as I know, David, the creator of Animator, is moving on to grand and wonderful other things. As far as I know, he's talking about making a full-fledged actual like 3D program that's not centralized around Minecraft. I don't know if that's still the case or not, but that was some bits that I heard some time ago. So that's just what I assume. So for now, I guess just assume that Animator is all it's ever going to be. Maybe with some bug fixes or something, but I don't know about any added functionality. But there are people on the Animator forums that can make mods for it, and there are some things that you can do. They're trying to enhance certain functions and add features, so be sure to check out the forum and look at the modding section. Stand United asks, what is your favorite aspect of the animation process? Ugh. My favorite aspect of the animation process has got to be when you have an idea for something and you really work towards it, and then you watch it back and it looks like you wanted it to look. Like just getting that result, like having the idea in your head and you go through it, animating is really tedious and time consuming, and you're working and you go back and you look at what accumulated from all those hours of effort and you see that you made something. That's probably my favorite aspect of it. As far as doing it, I don't really know if I have it. It's just the struggle of trying to achieve that vision that I have in my head. Let's play games. Asks, how do you make such fluid animations? I would not consider my animations the most fluid or the best ever. A lot of you guys are aware of what was the Tan James? His YouTube channel, I think, is like Krazakoa or something like that, and Skibs and whatnot. I think they have some pretty good skills that surpass mine as far as fluid animations and whatnot goes. But again, it's basically just practice. I've done a lot of tutorials. If you guys have any questions about this stuff, I've done a lot of tutorials at this point that covers a lot of it. And if you combine all those little tips, it'll help you with some practice. Of course, you've got to try to be consistent. The more you use my Animator, the more you do things with it, then the better and more familiar you'll become with the program, and the more fluid and good your animations will get. I also recommend watching other animations, like even if it's not my Animator, watch real animations and things, and try to take note of what they do. A lot of people study movement and anatomy and things like that to get an idea of like how physics work with people and objects and things, and that can really help you to replicate that in your animations by just becoming more aware of how things really work in the real world and trying to make that happen in your animation. Dragon Knight HD and Crazy MC asks, when did you start doing animations, and did you ever meet another animation YouTuber or worked with one? I started doing animations, I don't know when. I honestly don't recall it. Like I said, if you go back and look at that chicken coo animation, that is when I started and when I gave up. Sometime later I came back and I did the There Will Be Blocks. It was a very simple basic animation. It was something I decided to do to try and ease myself into it, and I don't know the dates. You can go look up those videos, and that's pretty much when I started. I have not met any other YouTuber animator or worked with one at this point. Maybe sometime in the future. Who knows? Alanus Productions, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you think you are at animating? 1 being new to it, 10 being Skib's level of pro. I'm gonna say maybe a 6 or 7, maybe? I don't know, don't take that too seriously. DJ Dude 167 said, would you be willing to try and make a 15 to 20 minute animation? I would. It would be very time consuming and whatnot, but it would have to be a project that I was really passionate about. Right now I'm just trying to do things that are fun and interesting, and they're usually like really short concepts and whatnot. But if I ever came up with the right story and idea and I really wanted to put forth a huge effort, then I would probably be willing to make an animation of length. How long it would be, I don't know, but just, however long it took to tell the story the way I wanted to tell it. Lucas DMC, the X King 360, Salmon Dog with X's on both sides of the name, Andre Dulay, I don't know how to pronounce that because I'm dumb, and Kamal TNG, hopefully I pronounced that right. What is your real name, age, and where do you live? Those are several questions that I kind of compiled into that. My real name is... My age is... And where do you live is in the... Alright, hope that answered your question. ProPlays YT, Lucas DMC, asked, why did you start YouTube? I kind of doubled up on that one, didn't I? Hopefully, yeah, we answered that one a while ago, so put those names with that one. As you can see, I didn't have time to refine this list. I apologize. J-Man Creeperhead, I think that was his name. The way I have this written is kind of... Anyway, would you do anything different? So that's kind of why I included those. Like, when I started it, would I do anything differently? Not really. I think, you just do what you know to do at the time. Everything that I've done has led up to the progress that I've made so far, so I wouldn't really say I would do anything differently. If there was something I knew to do that would make me a YouTube millionaire, then yeah, I would probably do that differently. But as far as just my own personal goals and progress, I don't know if there's anything really that I could or would do differently. I just try to do what I want to do, what's fun to me, and what I think would be good or helpful to others. And yeah, that's just pretty much what I try to focus on. Alpha Dog Gaming says asks what editing program do you use? I currently use Sony Vegas Movie Studio 12. It's pretty good. It's a nice, intuitive, and easy to learn video editor with some advanced functionality, and it's very reliable. I used to use Adobe Premiere Elements, and that program crashes every 5 minutes. Even though it has a lot of awesome features, it is not reliable at all. A good free alternative, if you guys are looking for an advanced free video editor, would be HitFilm Express. So feel free to Google that. Daniel L Plays, I hope that extra L is there for a reason, and the Nerd Gamer with X's on both sides, and Salmon Dog with X's on both sides ask, how did you get to know Minimator? Did someone show you? I kind of answered that a little bit earlier, but I got to know Minimator just by doing what I said. I tried to make an animation. I was like, wow, I suck at this. So I stopped, and then later on I was like, oh, I can make thumbnails. So I just started using it to make thumbnails. It's really easy to get into like learning how to pose characters and how to set up scenes and whatnot just by making a still image. You don't have to worry about how things are going to move or interact or anything. You can just set up a scene and make cool looking stuffs. And then I just grew into making animations. I honestly did not really watch any tutorials or anything. I just kind of taught myself by using the program in that way. Mad Blue and Yellow's Anaki, that's how I say the name, I don't know. It's got the slashes in between and whatnot. You guys probably seen his submissions in the compilation. Are you going to do a collaboration with other Minimator users? I don't know. I haven't really given a whole lot of thought to collaborations. Like I said, I just kind of focus on my own goals and what I want to do and things like that. So I wouldn't rule it out. It could definitely happen at some point, but at this point in time, I'm just focused on what I'm doing or whatever, you know. Nuclear Death 24, have you thought to make other people animations to get paid for it? I have, but I don't really, I have a thing of not being really confident in my abilities and the ability to charge people. I did do the one thing for the guy, the Get a Hinch. The first one was MSM Gaming, but he changed the name to Get a Hinch, I think. I did that for him, and he paid me for my time and effort, and yeah, that was about the only time that happened. So it's not something I would rule out, but I would definitely have to get paid enough to be worth my time to do it, and feel confident that I could accomplish what the person was wanting from the animation and stuff. So, yeah, I've thought of it, and I've sort of done it, but it's not something I've really done regularly. J Lee 653 says, do you from Mars? Or asks, I keep saying says. Do you from Mars? And, yes. Dog Foster and Laganzi Zimmerman? What voice recording system do you use? Will you ever use anything besides Minimator? Those are two different questions. By the way, I use Audacity to record my voice. I'm not using it right now. I actually record my videos with Bandicam. This is probably a question later on, but I use Bandicam to record, and it records my voice, and I edit it in Audacity. When I'm doing just voice recording, I just use Audacity. I do plan to use something other than Minimator. I've been trying to learn something else. No announcements just yet, but stay tuned and we'll see where that goes. Soda11 asks, oh, I got it right this time. What do you prefer most, Minimator or some other professional animating program? Well, technically I would prefer something else, such as Blender, but it depends on what you're preferring, right? If you want to make something really quick and easy, and of course Minecraft related, then Minimator is definitely your go-to. It's really easy, really quick, comparatively, especially once you get used to the program. But as far as the overall quality and the expansiveness of what you can do with the program, I would definitely prefer something more full-fledged than Minimator. Lee Animations asks, do you think Minecraft as a game is dying? Do you watch any modern cartoons? And those two questions just go hand in hand, man. I don't know. I wouldn't say Minecraft is dying. I think some of the hype for Minecraft is probably dying down, but I don't think really most games die. Like if you look at World of Warcraft, that game's been going forever and it still has a huge following. Minecraft is just a game, and a lot of people still play it, and they're continuing to update it and expand it. And, one day it may get to where hardly anybody plays it, but right now I think it's probably going pretty strong. Do I watch any modern cartoons? Well, that depends. I don't watch a lot of children's cartoons if that's what you mean. But I watch things like Futurama. Sometimes I watch Family Guy, American Dad, the usual kind of mature cartoons. So yes, in a way, I do. Anime Angel asks, would you do a collab with Skibbs? Probably. AK Gold Miner and Resectic, if I have that down right and whatnot. Do you ever play Minecraft in your spare time? I have, but lately I've been focused on, working and doing things, so I haven't really done that much in a good amount of time, but I do every now and then, so yes. Ender Warrior Gaming, who inspired you to make your videos? I don't really know if I had one in particular. I wouldn't say that I had like one sole inspiration, but I did have one particular YouTuber that kind of was someone I used to watch a lot and inspired me to kind of do videos a little bit. And his name was the Elemento Steve. I used to watch him a lot. He actually seems to have kind of given up on YouTube at this point, unfortunately. But yeah, he used to make daily Minecraft videos, and I used to watch them constantly. So yeah, there's that guy. The Frozen Zone asks, can you do a live stream making an animation? Yes, I would. I've thought about that, and I would like to. Unfortunately, I have poopy internet. The speed is good, but the reliability is horrible. So I've tried streaming before, and it works good when the internet's working well. I almost didn't get those words out. But then I get these random drops where I'll just lose connectivity and the stream will drop, and you guys have to wait until I come back and stuff. So I'm hoping to get that ironed out, and I may actually start doing that a little bit or something. So yes. Also, if you hear this question and answer, let me know in the comments if you guys would watch that. How many of you would like to see me live streaming either games and or Minimator animating? Cool Roby Gamer 1, I assume that's Roby, R-O-B-Y. Do you has pets? Yes, I has pets. Jory Habab, hopefully I got that right. Play Undertale Pacifist Route, please. That's not a question. Unless you consider please a question. I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll see. Azer Shield. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Do you like milk? I do. Net Knight asks, how famous do you think you'll get? I think I'll get this famous. Mr. Smiley asks, banana or apple? It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm making a smoothie, I definitely want banana. If I'm making oatmeal, then I want apple. Officer Zockbox asks, have you ever thrown a nearly finished animation away because you didn't like it anymore? If so, have you recreated it? Beyond the chicken coop, which I didn't throw away because I didn't like it, it was because I couldn't do anything further. No, I don't really think I have. I may have done it to some extent somewhere along the line, but not really. Most everything that I've started, I've tried to finish, and if I didn't, I just kind of consider them unfinished and a question mark as to whether or not I'll ever get back to them. Alright, I'm going to butcher this name, but I'm going to try to say it. Kaio Asaragi. Sorry about that. Who inspired you to make animations? I don't really know if I had any one to inspire me to make animations. Like I said, I just kind of always had the interest and the drive to do it myself, and I just decided to do it. But if I had to say, like, who are my favorite animators that kind of inspire me a little bit, honestly, I don't really know of any in the Minimator community per se. I do like, I think his channel was Iron Wave Studios. He does the Legend of the Harbinger, if I'm pronouncing that right, series, which is pretty good and inspiring to see someone accomplish that with Minimator. Beyond that, I like Slam a Cow and Blue Monkey. They're the ones that do like the full 3D animation deal stuff. Sensei Just, I don't know how to say your name. Is YouTube your full-time job? I wish. I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's like the Asian symbol things, and my WordPad did not save the symbols, and I couldn't pronounce them anyway. But that guy asked, can you play Minecraft PE? No. I've tried playing the mobile version of, I think that's what Pocket Edition, is that the mobile version? I've tried playing it a little bit, and it's just not for me. Yellow Zanaki asked, What color you like? Pretty much the color of my soul, so black. Ariffin Dinsumite? Am I pronouncing that right? And Ender Studios. And Ender Studios in particular asks, are you familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's? And can you make a Five Nights at Freddy's animation music video? I do know what Five Nights at Freddy's is. I'm not very familiar with it. I've never played it myself. And I kind of doubt I would ever make a Five Nights at Freddy's music video. SuperBro01 asks, I have no questions. Good. Borna2901 asks, why did you want to make Animator Tutorials? That's a very interesting question. Basically, I looked around at tutorials for Blender and whatnot, and I was like, a lot of these aren't very good. I noticed that in a lot of the instances where I've looked up tutorials on things or tried to find information, a lot of people aren't very good at making tutorials. They didn't provide the information or weren't as thorough as I think they should have been. And since I was becoming more familiar with Animator, I decided, hey, maybe I should be that guy for Animator. I'll try to make tutorials that I would want to see, that would hopefully help people like me if there's anyone else out there. And fortunately, it seems that there were. And yeah, so I just wanted to be another option to what I was seeing myself from other people, something like that. I think I butchered that answer, but yeah, good question. HotDogBread91 asks, what is the best animation / project I've done, or you've done? I guess that's what he means. I don't know. I may have paraphrased that. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not sure what my favorite would be exactly. I think the animation that I've made that I'm probably the most fond of is A Man's Best Friend. The one with the sponge meteors coming down and the dog. I really like making dramatic material, even though I don't seem to do it that much anymore. Hopefully I'll get back to it. But that's probably one of my favorites because I like things that have feelings and moods and stuff. Clam TDM Gaming asks, why don't you start a website where YouTubers with certain amount of subscribers can come and sign in, then they kind of get a chance to collab with you on a game, for example, a Minecraft collab or something. It's a good idea. I will probably use it when I get subscribers like you. That's a cool idea, but starting a website where you do all that kind of stuff takes a lot of effort and programming knowledge or web design knowledge and things like that. While I do have some of that, it's just kind of beyond my scope. As far as doing game nights or something, I would consider that at some point. Once again, I kind of have to have reliable internet in order to host something like that first. But maybe we'll organize something like that at some point, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm not sure how to read this name, but it's Very Calviber? I don't know. I think I'm really butchering that name. Sorry. But he says, what's your favorite Minecraft animation? Do you watch your own Minecraft animations often? I don't know that I do have a favorite Minecraft animation, period. As far as me watching my own, I do watch my own. I go back and watch them occasionally, kind of going back and seeing what I did and judging the quality of it and whatnot, to refresh my memory as to where I've come from and what I've done and where I want to go. Dead Bird asks, any tip for growing a YouTube channel? Consistency. Be consistent, make what you want to make, be consistent, have fun, be consistent, and just keep growing and watching what other people do. Don't copy, but just try to mimic success or whatever. I wouldn't consider myself a professional or even very knowledgeable at growing a YouTube channel. I've done the best that I can, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, the biggest thing I would always recommend, and that most successful people would recommend, and that's why I am aware of it, is being consistent. Make as much as you can and work hard. Don't focus all the time on quality. Obviously, you do want to keep your quality high, but you need to focus on volume. Make a bunch of stuff, keep yourself busy, and as you go, you will see that progress is made over time. You'll get better the more you do it. Hyperstanders asks, why do you use Animator and not Blender, and how to make original animations? I use Animator because of the reasons that I discussed before. It's easier to learn, it's quick, it's fast. Those two things are the same, but yeah, I use it because it's simple, but we'll see about the latter. How do you make original animations, though? You just have to come up with good ideas. I don't really know. It's whatever comes out of your head. Watch movies and other people's animations and stuff and kind of just get an idea of what you would want to make, what kind of animation would you want to see, or what do you think is a cool idea? And you just try to make it. Try not to copy other people and stuff. Oser Gamers asked, there's some typos here, so bear with me. I think he's saying, can this comment be in the Q&A? No. TD Pizza asked, is it true that you turned Minimator into Cinema 4D? Superheroes Hero asked, how long does it take you to make a vid/animation? Thanks. I don't know if that's two different things. You mean like a let's play vid and animations, or vid/animations meaning animations? As far as animations go, it really depends on what I'm making, how complicated it is, how much detail there is, like how much movement there is. When I did the Sky Wars animation, that took a lot of time and effort because you're animating more than one character, and especially like reactions when they're fighting each other and stuff, and that was very basic, very minimal movements and things that I did there, and that was very tedious and time consuming. I spent hours and hours over a course of a number of days working as fast and as hard as I could on that. So yeah, it can take anywhere from a few days or it could take weeks. Generally for me, it's somewhere in between there. Days, weeks. If it's really short, sometimes it's just a matter of hours, but generally I would say several days to a few weeks to make a full animation. So that's it for the Q&A, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It looks like it was turned out pretty long, but hopefully it wasn't too boring. Hope you got something out of it, and maybe we'll do this again sometime in the future. By the time this comes out, we may have been at or reached 7,000 subscribers, by the way. So as another addendum to the purpose of this video, thanks for all the subscriptions and the support and everything, guys, and we'll see how it goes from here. Once again, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for another year of this. And I will see you guys in the next video.